man that wasn't her man, that was her friend's man. I wanted him to be my man. Hello, my babies. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, how are you? Like, comment, and subscribe. I would love it if you did that. But today's just going to be a quick story time while I organize my perfume collection. I don't know if you can call it organizing. I'm just moving it from one space to another because I'm redecorating my room. I'm actually putting up wallpaper as well. So you guys will see that probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, something like that. But let's get into the story time. It's actually about an ex-coworker, ex-friend who was mad at me because she thought her man that wasn't her man, that was her friend's man, I wanted him to be my man, and that wasn't it. So we're going to go back, and we're going to do a little background. Okay, we're going to go all the way back. So I met this girl at work. We had a lot in common. We both were divorced, young, and we had children. And so me and the girl would hang out all the time. And so eventually she's telling me, okay, hey, I want to work out. I want to work out with you. And the guy in question is going to be the trainer. I'm like, okay, he's cool. I know him from work. And I'm telling her, oh, I don't know if I can do this. You know, I don't drive. I have to get on a train, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I can take you home. Like, it doesn't even matter. Mind you, she has to go out of her way to take me home. Red flag number one, you have to go 30 minutes outside of your way in Atlanta traffic to take me home because you want me to go to the gym with you so bad. So I'm like, okay, cool. So we start working out with the guy. We're having a good time. And then I notice after that, every 2 weeks, she's like, hey, if you like so-and-so, you can just let me know. I'm like, no, I don't like so-and-so, but I can tell that she likes so-and-so. So I'm like, you should talk to him. I'm just going to call him Darnell. You should talk to Darnell because you like Darnell. But mind you, her friend is already talking to Darnell, and I wouldn't call it talking as much as they're like, you know, clapping the cheeks. But her friend is talking to Darnell, so I'm like, okay, this is odd, but whatever, you know, enjoy. And so again, every 2 weeks, she's like, oh, do you like Darnell? And I'm like, no, it's getting weird, but I'm not thinking much of it, whatever. So one day, she wants Darnell to go out to lunch with her. So she invites me and she's like, oh, you should come out to lunch with us. We're going to have a good time. We go out to lunch. We have a great time. We all exchange numbers. Leaving the lunch, she starts with the speech again. I'm like, okay, girl. Cool. Like, why do you keep inviting me to hang out with you and Darnell if you think that me and Darnell are talking? Which I don't understand why she thought me and Darnell were talking because we never, ever talked. I actually did not have Darnell's number until we went to the lunch that she invited me to, and I got his number. We actually all exchanged numbers at the table, but I took his number because we have things in common. We like anime, like comic books, like we have a lot of things in common. So he's like, oh, I'll take her number, blah, blah, blah. Cool, not thinking nothing of it. So her birthday comes around, and she invites me to her birthday party. Her friend to her birthday party. It's like a group of us, and we're going to the strip club. So we have a great time at the strip club. It was amazing. We had so much fun. I bought everybody breakfast the next day. Like, we're having an amazing time. And so I text Darnell, and I'm telling him about the strip club because this is my first time in a strip club in Atlanta. I've never been to a strip club in Atlanta, and we're actually talking about her birthday in the strip club. And so when we're talking about the strip club, he makes a joke or something like, I don't go to strip clubs. They all have whatever the hottest disease was at the time. You know, it changes every year. We got the swine flu, we got the bird flu, we got COVID. It changes every year. So I'm laughing, and she's like, oh, what's so funny? Who are you talking to? And I say, Darnell. The instant I say Darnell, face drops. Like, solace, like sad. I'm like, okay, strange. And so she stops talking for like 2 hours. All of her friends are like, what's wrong? And she's not, I'm talking about straight silent treatment to all of us. She's not saying a word. And I'm like, ooh, this is strange. So I'm thinking, I hope this isn't because I'm talking to Darnell. We're not even talking about anything. Like, we made a joke. we stopped texting. And the only reason I texted him about the strip club is because he had mentioned something about the strip club when we were working out one time, I think. And so we're chatting, ha ha ha. And I get up to go get something to drink. Mind you, she's still so sad, sulking around the house. So I get up to get a drink. When I come back to the couch, this girl is looking in my phone, looking at the text messages. And so instead of getting offended, like, why the hell are you on my phone? I'm actually happy that she's looking at the text messages, because then she could see this is the first time we have texted, what we're texting about, which I just told her what we're texting about. That did not help. She was still soaking. So another hour goes by. I guess she really thinks about it because she goes in the back and talks to her friend. And then we come back out, we reconvene, we're having a great time again. So in between time, in the meantime, he texts me again. And I can't remember what we were talking about, but it was something very, very jokey, nothing serious. Like, we joke at work all the time, so it's something like that. And I'm laughing. She gets quiet again, solace again. So we're like, okay, perfect. You know, she's back on this. But it's her birthday weekend, so we don't want her to feel that way. And so she loves Olive Garden. And so her friend is like, oh, we're going to Olive Garden. You want to come? And she's like, no, I don't want to come. And so I know what her favorite dish is at Olive Garden. So I'm like, whatever. We go to Olive Garden. I get her favorite dish. We go pick up some drinks. And we come back. Y'all, when we come back to the house, this girl is sitting in the pitch black. She turned off all the lights in the apartment. Her kids are in the back room with the door closed, screaming, crying. Screaming, crying. They're in the back, screaming, crying. And she's sitting on the couch like this. Oop. She's sitting on the couch like this in the dark. And we're like, are you okay, girl? What's going on? She's not saying a word. So after this, I start getting a little bit irritated because I'm like, I know this ain't over Darnell. I know this ain't over no man. Girl, what the heck? Like, mind you, I've been helping this girl with her kids, giving her money, like really trying to be a friend to her. So I'm like, over Darnell, when you know I don't talk to him and I keep telling you to get with him. I mean, we're talking about you in the text messages in your birthday. And so we go ahead, we finish up the night. At this point, I'm sitting at her house because, again, I don't drive at this time. I'm afraid to drive. We'll talk about that later. But I'm afraid to drive. So we're getting up to go to work on Monday. And we get in the car. She doesn't speak the entire way there. Doesn't turn on any music either. It's just pitch, like, silence. Like, in that car, all you hear is air conditioning and huffing and puffing because she's huffing and puffing. I'm like, okay. I can already tell I'm never going to mess with her again. Try not to curse. I can already tell I'm never gonna mess with her again because she's odd. And just backstory a little bit, we're gonna zoom back. Ever since I've been in Georgia, I experienced something that I had never experienced, and this was in my teenage years. I experienced jealous women, and women that think that you're trying to talk to any dude that they like because you are friendly with them or because they like you and you do not know. And I've always thought it was strange, and I only mess with certain women. They have to be very confident, very, into themselves a little bit. Those are the type of women that I am drawn to because I don't like no woman that is all about a man, all up under a man, only care about a man. That's not my type of girl. Like, if that's your type of girl, enjoy. But that's not the type of girls that I enjoy being friends with. And so we get to work, we get out the car, we don't say a word. Mind you, me and her friend have built a friendship prior to her coming down for the birthday party and then during the birthday party. And so I'm actually telling her friend about one of my exes that I have rekindled with. And this was like one of my favorite exes. So I'm excited to be talking to him again. It was stupid. It was foolish. But I'm talking to her about one of my favorite exes and like, oh, I'm really into them. Like, I want to kiss him. I want to hug him. I want to do things with him, whatever. I guess she thinks I'm talking about Darnell, and I promise you, they act like this man is Idris Elba. They act like this man is Shamar Moore back in the Soul Train days. Like, it was so confusing to me. And so she tells her friend And so she goes up to Darnell at work and asks him if we're clapping the cheeks. And he tells her, no, we are not clapping the cheeks. And so after that, I was too done with her. Come to find out, Darnell did have a little lust type of relationship that, or I don't want to explain this. Let's rewind back. Come to find out, he had a crush on me, or he was attracted to me. Maybe she was able to see that the whole time, but I wasn't paying no attention to him because I'm not thinking about him like that. I'm thinking about a whole other man. And so that did come out that he did have a little crush on me. And I used to be a very toxic person, y'all. Very toxic. So you say I'm sleeping with him, guess what I do? I'm finna go hit that. I'm finna go see what that's hitting on. And yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about what it's hitting on, but that's the story time, y'all. It was a crazy time, and I think about that often because after that I had one more incident with a woman that was just super obsessed with me. She didn't necessarily have any qualms with a man or anything like that, but she was super obsessed with me. And after that, I became very selective of who I became friends with. And so I will warn y'all that a lot of these women out here are weird. They will hang out with you just to see what is going on with you. Why do people flock to you? Why are people looking at you? What's so special about you? And I think it angers them even more if you're someone like me that is very boring. Like, I keep to myself. I stay in the house. I go to work. I have the same friend, same best friend that I've had since 15. So nothing much is going on. And I think it makes them even madder when they realize that you're not even doing a lot and people are still interested in you. And so just be careful of who you're being friends with. This happened back in 2015. And I never recovered. Like, the women that have come into my life afterwards, again, are a certain caliber. And at any sign of anything weird, I just let them go. I don't try to hold on to them after I talk to them about whatever I feel like is going on. If they're still behaving strangely, I just go ahead and leave them where they are, because I don't have time to be on an episode of Snap, either being the victim or the murderer. So I don't have time for that. And I would recommend that y'all really pay attention to y'all friends. How do they look at you? What are they saying about you? How do they compliment you when you look good? Just pay attention, y'all, because it's some real weirdos out here. And we don't got time for that. We just want to have a good time. I did not come down here to this earth realm to play with these women that are not in their divine feminine and are too busy seeking value from men. I did not. And I can say that confidently because I know my purpose. And we'll talk about more about like learning what your purpose is, knowing what your purpose is, and all of that in another video. But like, comment, and subscribe. It's a vibe. I will talk to you at another time. Bye.